Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Self-Talk Show, the space where we unpack the power of inner dialogue. One book, one conversation, one story, one shift at a time. I'm your show host Mithali Ohri, and today we are getting into a book that feels like a gentle but urgent wake-up call to the creative spirit inside all of us. The book is Welcome to the Creative Club by Pia Mailhot-Leichter. And let me just say this, it's not just a book. It's a heartfelt permission slip to show up for your weirdest, wildest, and most wonderful self. Let's set the stage first. If creativity were a language, Pia would be its most multilingual speaker. She's worn many hats: journalist in Sri Lanka, producer of economic documentaries in Bahrain, a summa cum laude NYU graduate, an award-winning creative director, and now the founder of Kollektiv Studio, where she co-creates what she calls wild visions and ventures. She's lived in London, Gothenburg, Copenhagen, each city leaving its mark on her creative DNA. But more than the resume, what struck me the most is Pia's refusal to romanticize suffering as the birthplace of creativity. She challenges the tortured artist trope and makes the case for joy as a creative fuel. That's the kind of revolution I can get behind. Really. Alright, now let's get into the book review. Welcome to the Creative Club is structured in 3 compelling parts, each one deepening your relationship with your own creativity. Part 1. The Creative Club. This is where Pia makes it very clear. You don't need anyone's approval to be let in to the creative world. You are already a member. You always were. Through stories like her soul-searching journey aboard the Trans-Siberian Railway, Pia walks us through what it means to reclaim our creative agency. One standout chapter is You Are a Card-Carrying Member. She gives us the permission to embrace our delightful weirdness and stop outsourcing our sense of worth to the gatekeepers of culture and convention. She invites you to ditch the idea that creativity is a divine gift handed only to a chosen few. In her words, it's a birthright, a part of being alive. And this is where Self-Talk Show leans in. The book subtly but powerfully reframes the internal dialogue many of us carry. I'm not creative. I don't have good ideas. I'm not original enough. And invites us to rewrite that script. Pia doesn't just say you are creative. She shows us how we have always been participating in creativity without even realizing it. Through conversations, through problem solving, through how we survive, love, and dream. One of my favorite chapters is Everything is Available at the 7-Eleven Within. It dismantles the scarcity mindset that kills our best ideas before they are born. Pia urges us to see abundance everywhere, especially within ourselves. Here's an excerpt that I would like to share it with you. As a kid with an artist father and a mother who was one of 10 children from a small Quebec countryside town, money in my family was scarce. It was something to be saved and put aside, just in case. When my parents and I went out for dinner, I'd order the cheapest thing on the menu. My mother checked grocery bills, sometimes swapped price tags on items in stores, and bought clothing from second-hand stores or only when on sale. My father didn't have a credit card for most of his life because he didn't trust financial institutions. These ideas stayed with me. I never questioned their veracity. I inherited the behaviors and perpetuated the belief that there wasn't enough, which made me feel anxious and fearful about money. I always put money aside and felt relieved when numbers increased in a spreadsheet. Every time I played the game of guessing how much the groceries would cost at the register, every time I wouldn't allow myself to order what I really wanted. What can I say? I have expensive taste. every time I refused to buy things unless they were on sale. I was sending out messages. I am not worth it. There's not enough. I don't trust life has my back. This reinforced belief, deepening that mental growth again and again. Well, it reminded me of how often our inner talk is rooted in lack. Not enough time, not enough talent, not enough support. This chapter challenges that head on. There is a poem titled, "Come on in, the water's warm." Please allow me to read it for you. Come on in, the water's warm. A poem for those on the ledge. Left foot dangling in the air, wind styling hair, the heart a piñata, littering crepe paper and candy over terracotta dirt. Right leg muscles tense, stubbornly fixed to the ground. Fear increases heartbeats. Uncertainty makes jeans stick to skin heavy. Standing between here and there is a strange limbo. A violent tug on both ends of a rope. One side wants to stay put, the other craves the wind, until the struggle between limbs hurts more than the leap itself. So, you say fuck it and launch knees tucked, cannonballing into the sea. You float, buoyed by a current, stare at animal-shaped clouds, follow the choreography of seagulls. Once you're in, you won't want to return to dry land. Even when you're sputtering salt water, sunburnt and peeling, nothing beats the view of the sky, the rhythm of foam-crested waves, and a pastel horizon of possibility. You don't know what's next, and that's precisely why you feel most alive in the ocean of your choosing, surfing on the curl of your creativity. If you're ready to dive into your own big void, I am the one in the donut floaty, smelling like pina coladas, windswept and freckled, waving wildly. I know, right? It is such a beautiful, beautiful poem. It reads like an open invitation to leap, even when we don't know the outcome. That Pia says is the essence of creativity. Not knowing, but leaping anyway. Creativity, like life, thrives in uncertainty. We just have to train ourselves to stay with that discomfort long enough for the magic to show up. Pia also outlines what she calls uncertainty capacity builders. 5 ways to grow your tolerance for the unknown. My favorite, the Reaper. The reminder that we are all going to die one day. And that's exactly why we should really live today. Take that creative risk. Speak your truth. Try the weird idea. Part 2, the secret sauce. This section reads like a metaphysical TED talk on authenticity. Pia talks about shape-shifting, the ways we contort ourselves to fit in, to be loved, to not be too much. She shows how this dilutes our creative truth. Her anecdote about a relationship where she began morphing herself to be who her partner wanted is achingly relatable. But then she pivots. She doesn't stay in the pain. She rises with poetry, such as the piece titled as Thirsty about shedding destructive patterns. She emphasizes alignment with personal values as a compass for creativity. She calls this your native frequency when you live and create from this space. Life sinks back. In the chapter Champagne Problems, Pia gets brutally honest about substance use and creativity. She unpacks the lie that alcohol or chaos fuels art and offers something deeper, sobriety as clarity, clarity as creativity. Part 3, the cosmic invitation. Now we enter the spiritual realm. This is where Pia takes us by the hand and leads us into the unknown. Not with fear, but with stardust. Creativity, she says, is cosmic in nature. It's about trusting what you cannot see. She writes, Don't die with your magic inside you. Someone out there needs exactly only you can create. In chapters like The End and the Beginning, Pia shows how life's sharp turns, breakups, and breakdowns are actually soul upgrades. These initiations, those painful, often reveal new wings. She writes about being nudged and then shoved into living creatively by moments that shake her by the shoulders. But even then, she understands that every ending is a disguised beginning, a clearing, a cosmic reset button. Pia's description of the unknown as certain, because that's the one guarantee in life, is so paradoxical, it's comforting. Her writing invites listeners to step into the unfamiliar, like it's a cathedral of possibility. The book doesn't shy away from the heavy stuff either. Pia takes aim at the systematic gatekeeping in the creative world. The way creativity has been historically associated with white, male, Eurocentric narratives, she calls out these biases and reframes creativity as a universal, not exclusive force. It's refreshing, needed, and deeply affirming. Welcome to the Creative Club is equal parts memoir, manifesto, and mirror. Pia Mailhot-Leichter doesn't hand you a roadmap. She hands you a compass and reminds you that you have always known the way. Through storytelling, poetry, and radical encouragement, she makes the invisible visible. The courage it takes to create anything, a poem, a business, a life. If you have ever whispered to yourself, I am not creative, well, this book is your antidote. And it's not just about making art, it's about living art fully. And maybe, just maybe, your most powerful act of creativity will begin with a new inner sentence, I belong here. Alright, that's a wrap for today's episode. I'd love to know, have you read Pia's book or any others that made you rethink your inner voice? DM or comment on social media or email me at showselftalk@gmail.com. And if you're inspired to dive into Welcome to the Creative Club, then head to the episode description. Until next time, this is Self Talk Show reminding you that creativity starts where self-doubt ends, and you are already holding the membership card. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Thank you for tuning in.